Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film a recent and current reads video. And it's been a little while since I filmed one of these. I've been very busy in the last week and a half or so, but I just want to get everybody caught up on where I am with my reading for the month of March so far. So I have finished 3 books since I last updated you all. And the first one is The Immortal Lives of Henrietta Lacks, which I talked about quite extensively in my last update video. This is a nonfiction about Henrietta Lacks, who was a black woman who came down with cervical cancer in the 1950s. And her cells, her cervical cells were harvested without her knowledge and used by scientists and researchers to this day to come up with various vaccines and cures and other scientific breakthroughs. And this tells the story of the science and also of Henrietta Lacks' family. This is a fabulous book. All of the hype is real. And if you have not already read it, I would highly suggest that you do. I then finished, I then finished another read for the BookTube Prize, which obviously I can't talk about, but I will say that it was the best of the 6 books that I've read so far. There are 6 books in the group, and it is the best one that I've read so far. I haven't read all 6 yet. Excellent read, and I am excited to talk to you about it at the end of this month. And then the third thing that I finished so far is in the month of March is another nonfiction, this one on audiobook, and that is I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai, which is, I chose to read the Young Readers edition for middle grade March, and it is narrated, the first introductory part is read by Malala herself, and then the greatest bulk of the story is read by another narrator. But it's very well done. The narrator does have quite a strong accent, which I found a little bit hard to understand at first, but once I got into the rhythm of the story, I was able to follow no problem. But I Am Malala tells Malala's story of growing up in Pakistan, where she was the daughter in quite a progressive family that believed in educating girls. She went to school from the time that she was old enough to be in school and loved school, and her father was the principal of her school. And as the Taliban gained more and more control of Pakistan, the rights of women began to become more and more restricted. And she tells her story about how, even as a young child, she spoke out in favor of education for women. And that culminates in her being shot by the Taliban because she was being so outspoken about women getting educated, and she refused to stop going to school. So it's her whole story from childhood up until the moment where she gets shot, and then what happens afterwards. And it is truly inspiring. And at the very end of the book, there's a recording of Malala speaking to the UN about the importance of education for young women all around the world. Truly inspiring. I certainly shed a few tears at different parts of the book. And as a mother myself, reading about the risks that Malala took to speak her truth and what she felt was right, it's very powerful. It's a really good story, and I'm very glad that I read it. Now, as for what I'm currently reading, I'm still reading my Grant biography. I'm making very good progress on this. I have less than 200 pages left to go on it. I'm in now Grant's 2nd presidential term, and it amazes me every time I read one of these presidential biographies. It just amazes me the number of parallels between our current political situation and the political situation in those days, because Grant's presidency was plagued with multiple scandals, and a lot of them had to do with improper use of funds and bribery and corruption and all that stuff. And it's just, there's a lot of parallels between that time and what's going on today. I'm also reading Wundersmith by Jessica Townsend. This is the 2nd book in the Morgan Crow series. This is middle grade fantasy, which I picked up both for middle grade March and for the Femme Fatale readathon, which happened like a week ago, and I didn't finish it then. I'm actually buddy reading this with Doris, and we're taking it kind of slow, just reading a couple chapters a day, and it's just delightful. I think I like this book even more than I did the first one. I probably have about a fourth of the book left to go. Morgan is, you know, in school now and having adventures with her classmates. And it's just a super fun read, and it's really just what I need at this point with life being so crazy. I am also reading an ebook from the library for March Mystery Madness. I'm reading Dark in Death by J.D. Robb, another installment in the long-running futuristic police procedural series which stars a female detective, Eve Dallas, and her husband, Rourke, a multi-billionaire type. And they're super fun, and I've talked about them plenty on my channel. And I really can't say too much about this because it's like, you know, 40-something in the series. And then the last thing that I'm also reading is another ebook, but one that I own, and that is The Path Between Two Seas by David McCullough. I'm buddy reading this nonfiction with Patrice and with Doris, and it is all about the building of the Panama Canal. And we finished this kind of divided up into different sections. The first section was all about the French efforts to build a canal in Panama, and we've just finished that section, and we're now on to the second part, which is about the United States efforts to build a canal across the isthmus there. And it is, David McCullough is a fantastic historical nonfiction author, and I read his biography of John Adams, I believe, was the one I read of his previously, and I really like his writing style. He delves into, I mean, there's a lot of information and a lot of details, but he also delves into these characters that, you know, are like sprinkled throughout the broader story of this canal being built, and he really brings those characters to life, and I really enjoyed that in his writing. And I've already learned a tremendous amount of information that I didn't know before about the Panama Canal. And again, so many parallels with the current political situations and episodes, and of course none of them are coming straight to my mind right now, but you know, in my conversations with Doris and Patrice, we've all pointed out like how much this certain thing or this certain person reminds us of something that's happened you know, recently in the culture or in politics. So that is what I've recently read and what I'm currently reading. As you can tell, I'm trying to make my way forward along a lot of different fronts. There were a ton of readathons and reading themes this month that I wanted to participate in. So while I am reading, and then the one book that I forgot to even mention is I am also listening to on audio another one of the BookTube Prize books. So all of those books are ongoing, 5 right now at once, but I am making progress in each of them, so I'm feeling very positive about my reading in the month of March. I hope you're all reading some great books. And please tell me about them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you're currently reading right now. And until the next video, I'll talk with you later.